My name is Patrick, and I'm speaking from Indian Cybersecurity Solutions. Today we have Mr. Avnish Kumar. He is a certified OCP holder, and he has an experience in this field, in the field of ethical hacking and its utility and the utility of OCP knowledge. He has held various projects of Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and he is here to explain to you about OCP, the importance of it, as well as how to crack the exam of OSCP, which is one of the most toughest exams in the world, especially in the field of ethical hacking. Mr. Avnish Kumar, please take over the platform.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, everyone. So here's the thing: OSCP training and how to crack the exam. Okay, so if we're talking about the OSCP is the offensive security provide this course. Okay, offensive security certified professional. Okay, so let's see. Here's something about me. Okay, who am I and all the stuff. So I'm a bug bounty hunter. Okay, I have some of the certification in the cyber security field, like OSCP, CRTP. Okay, CH version 10 and the XDS. OSCP we already know, the offensive security certified professional. CRTP is for certified red team professionals. Okay, the CH version 10 and the XDS. XDS basically for the exploit development part. Okay, which is in the assembly and the Python stuff. Okay, and I'm also the security researcher in the SANAC red team. Okay, and I'm the instructor, part-time instructor we can say, and we working on the multiple project, and I'm also a gamer. Okay, and if in the security field we have lots of work on that different kind of project and different kind of technologies, if we talking about the technology, then the Python, JavaScript, and the AWS, this kind of things which is coming into the market to work on that and try to explore in this field. Okay, so let's move on to the today agenda. Okay, so here is the today agenda. What is the first topic? Is the what is the OSCP, prerequisite for OSCP, lab of OSCP, the course about all the things we mentioned in the OSCP stuff, and second last thing is the about exam and tips and tricks. Okay, so let's move forward about the what is the OSCP. Basically, we already know the OSCP is certified offensive security certified professional, which is provided by the offensive security. In that course, basically, offensive security give you the number of labs and number of machines to solve for the practice mode. And if we enroll into the exam, then offensive security basically give you total 6 machines, 5 machines for the hack, and 1 machine for the buffer overflow practice. Okay, so basically in this exam we have to crack at least 4 machines to pass the exam, to grab the 70 marks out of 100 marks. Okay, so in that we have to find out the which kind of vulnerability are existed in the machines and which kind of exploit we're going to use to crack that, or to get the reversal from the victim machines, right? So for that we have number of websites where we can download the exploit to use on the particular vulnerability. Like first website is like exploit DB, or we can also say the exploit database, which is also owned by the offensive security, where we can download, or where we can search about the different kind of exploits for the LFI, for the WordPress, for the Joomla, for the different kind of CMS, right? And our most famous system for that hacking stuff is the Kali Linux. If you are compatible with that Linux system, then we can go through that networking path. After that, you can enroll into the OSCP course. Okay, where we basically try to enumerate all the stuff and try to exploit all the stuff on the basis of networking. Okay, number of which kind of ports and which kind of services are open. It's all depends upon that. Okay, so let's move on. And here is the thing: offensive security certified professional is ethical hacking certification. Okay, certificate which is provided by that offensive security. Basically, this present time in India or in anywhere in the world, the OSCP is the most desirable certificate. Okay, for that for in this cybersecurity field for the hackers. Okay, if you have the OSCP certificate, that means you have the basic understanding of networking, you have the basic understanding of a scanning process, you have the basic understanding of how we can approach the target to hack it or to scan it. Okay, to find the vulnerability with the different kind of methodologies. Okay, In this offensive security course, we go through that different kind of vulnerability sections and different kind of methodology to test that different kind of vulnerability on the target systems, right? So yes, this is the offensive security things. This is basically offensive security is not that a theoretical part of the exam or like CS things, but in this course we have to do and we have to manage each and everything in the practical manner to show how we can reach out the target, and how we can accelerate our privilege to become the root of this environment. Okay, so this is the basic introduction about the OSCP. Okay, so just move on. And you have, if you have any kind of question, guys, just leave on the comment. We'll go through that. Okay. So here is some prerequisites for the OSCP. Basically, we already know the OSCP is the most demandable certificate in the cyber security field for prove your skills. Okay, we have lots of skills in our hand, but if you want to prove and if you want to show off your skills, then how you can show that? Basically, from the OSCP, then you can say that I have the OSCP certification. Then you can go through that and you can ask me some kind of things. Okay, so some of the prerequisite for this certification, first is the solid. If you have the understanding of TCP/IP networking, OSI layers and all the stuff, then you can go through that. Because see what happened in this course or in this certification, all the things is depends upon the ports and the services. Okay, it's not like the web application stuff, it's like the networking stuff. If you have the strong understanding of the TCP/IP protocols, then you can go through that. Okay, and second thing, if you are comfortable with the Windows and Linux environment, okay, to figure out the thing which kind of process is running on the Windows system and which uh, kind of service is running on the Linux system, then you can basically understand the environment and you can try to exploit that basically. Okay, what happened in the OSCP in, I think I have in this field approx 7 years, so I have lots of experience in that. So a lot of students ask me after the exam that I stuck in this case, so in the Windows case. So what happened, we done lots of hacking thing like CS thing and all the other possibility certification in the cybersecurity field on the Linux system. Okay, so in that case we have the knowledge about the Linux system. But what happened when we shift on the Linux to Windows system, then our knowledge become like a uh, something else. Okay, so we have to focus on the Windows system also, and we have to practice lots of command on the Windows system to try to figure out which command and which things doing which kind of work on the Windows system. Okay, and see, like 95% of the student in the OSCP exam are stuck on the Windows machines to accelerate your privilege from normal to higher users. Okay, so this is the most important stuff. If you're comfortable with the Windows systems and Windows command lines, or we can say PowerShell, then we can go through that. Okay, and the third thing, a little bit you have to familiar with that, like basic Bash or Python scripting. Why this thing is important? Because in the OSCP course, one topic will be covered by the course is known as like buffer overflow. Okay, in the buffer overflow we have to find out that all the possibilities to exploit that exes on the Windows system, like bad characters, jump esp, through different kind of tools, right? Like through the immunity debuggers. Okay, so in that case, if you want to communicate with that exe from your Kali machines to the Windows machine, then in that case we have required some kind of a scripting language, which is a Python. Okay, in the Python, basically one library is there, which is known as socket. Socket library in the Python basically give you the infrastructure or give you the terminal to communicate with that particular IP address and the port number. Okay, so these three things is basically prerequisite for the OSCP. If anyone wants to enroll into this course, then you have to understand these three things first. Okay, so just move on. And here is the lab for the OSCP. See, if you enroll into the OSCP course, okay, now from the offensive security website, then he give you the VPN connections. Okay, he give you the credentials. Okay, so you can just open your Kali Linux machines and just run the open VPN command to connect with that environment. Okay, after connecting the environment, you got four different kind of network. First network is the public network, right? Second network will be the IT network. Okay. Third network will be the development network, and fourth and the last network would be the admin network. Okay. And if you got that like connection and all the stuff, if you configure the lab access environment, then you have only able to access the public network. Okay. And after cracking some of the machine into the public network, then you can grab one file known as network.txt, okay, in the root folder of that any machines. Okay. So after copy the content of the network.txt, when you put into the terminal, then you got the access of the IT network. In the same case, in the IT network, if you got that some of the machines of the IT network, then when you have to crack that some of the machines, then you just put that network.txt into the panel again. Then you got the admin network and the development network machines. Okay. Through this process, if you want to access any kind of machines from the public network to the any kind of other network like admin network, IT network, and the development network, for that you have to understand the tunneling kind of things. Okay. You have to develop a tunnel between your machine to the public network machine to the, and from the public network machine to the IT network or admin network or development network machines to access the all the ports and all the services from the remotely. Okay. So this is the basic infrastructure of the OSCP labs. Basically, nowadays offensive security just upgraded his own lab. In now, if you purchase the course of the offensive security, then you got the 5 extra machines, which is the exam machines. Okay, which are also placed into the like environment of the OSCP labs. Okay, so now in this case, we have after solving those 5 machines, you have the like understanding of how the exam difficulties and the exam level in the OSCP exam. Okay. So here is the basic infrastructure of the OSCP labs. Okay. So just move on. So the course, in this course, basically lots of things is involved in this course. Okay. First thing is the penetration testing with the Kali Linux, like this is the introduction part. Okay. And second is the about the Kali Linux system. Kali Linux system itself contain approx 1,000 tools, 1,000 different kind of tools for the different process or for the different works. Okay. Like if you're talking about that networking stuff, then we have the number of tools. Okay. Like if you want to fetch any kind of data, so we have the YSR kind of thing to cache the data to perform the MITM attack. Okay. And lots of tools like Doublestar, Govestar, Nikto for the OSCP, like Bob Suite. Okay. Like if you go through that Wi-Fi cracking and stuff, then we have the lots of tool according to the particular sections. Okay. So this is the important thing which is mentioned in the OSCP courses. Okay. Like first is the some of the essential tools. We have to understand some of the essential tools like Nikto tools. Okay. For that Nikto tool basically used for the only for the web application vulnerability. Okay. For GoBuster, Durbuster. Okay. What's BAB? Who eats? Okay. Host. This kind of tools we have to understand this tool, how we can use it, and how we can identify the vulnerability with the help of this. Okay. Fourth step is the information gathering. Basically, what is information gathering is we have, if you want to attack on any victim sites or any victim machines, then you have to gather all the possible information about the victim machines or victim about the victim, right? Without information, you can't get into the any kind of system. So in the information gathering process, we have two kind of information gathering things. First is the passive information gathering, and second thing is the active information gathering. Okay. So these kind of things covered in this course. Fifth thing is the vulnerability scanning. So if you got the target, let's assume you got the abc.com, then first what you have to do, first you have to try to find out the which kind of vulnerability are existed on that particular websites or particular targets. Okay. So with the help of different other tools also like Bob Suite, through the Nikto, we can also perform the scanning process through the Nikto commands. Okay. And if you try to find out the internal parts or internal directory or internal files, then we have the number of tools for that also, like GoBuster and the Dove, and we can say WFudge or FUF, lots of tools. Okay. The sixth thing is the buffer overflow. The buffer overflow is the most important topics for the OSCP. If someone doesn't have the knowledge about the buffer overflow, then from my perspective, in the 90% case, that a student going to fail in the offensive security exam, because that buffer overflow also contain 25 marks for one machine, and you can grab these machines in 10 to 20 minutes easily, okay, through the simple process. Okay, you have to identify just the bad characters, just control the EIP value, okay, just generate your the cell code, okay, and just to find out the jump ESP and just put in together, okay, and just get the cell, okay. And the last two things, which is the Windows privilege escalation part and the Linux privilege escalation part, this is the most important topics. These three basically the most important topics for the OSCP. Okay, 90% of student in the OSCP exam get the normal cell. Okay, easily get the normal cell on the 3 through 4 machines. Okay, but the main thing happen after the getting the normal cell. You have to accelerate your privilege from normal user to root user to grab that proof.txt kind of thing on the administrator desktop part. Okay, so in this thing, or if you're talking about the Windows relation, we have the number of methods in the forward slash slides where we can discuss about that. Okay, so let's move on. And here's the about the exam thing. Basically in the exam you got approx 23 hours and the 45 minutes, okay, 15 minutes for the your setup and software setup and the lab setup for the exam. So that's why the 15 minutes directed from these things, okay. So we have 23 hours and the 45 minutes. In the exam your screen and you get protected from that instructor from the offensive security, okay, through the webcam and through the screen sharing software, okay. Why this thing happened? Because after 2018, I think in November, the offensive security implement this protective things and for the exam, because we all know the scenario of the offensive security now, okay. So for the security purpose, he implement this kind of backend things, okay. In the exam you will get the total 5 target for hack and 1 target for the practice of the buffer overflow. You have to compromise minimum 4 machines to grab that 70 marks, 70 or 70 plus marks to pass the exam, okay. Minimum 70 marks is required to pass the exam, okay. So yes, so here are some of the tips and tricks. Okay, first tips is that you have to maintain your notes. Okay, lots of students just solve the machine and just date the machines and all the things and just leave it. Okay, don't do this. Just try to create your own notes. Okay, just try to create your own methodology. And if let's assume like this way, if you have the number of ports are open, like 100 ports are open, and if you got one port through the one port like port 80 and you got the cell from the port 80, so you have to like mention that things this kind of ports was open, but I got through this process and I got the cell, okay. And take the screenshot for every step, okay. In the offensive security, if you got into the offensive security exam, then you have to submit the report after your exams, right, in the next 24 hours. So in that process you have to set up, you have to include all each and every process, every step to from the enumeration process to exploitation process of the machine into your reports. So in that case you have to take all the screenshots of the every of the all the steps, okay. So that's why just start the taking the screenshot from the beginning, okay. And here's the thing, familiar with the tools. If you're familiar with the like Nikto, Dovster, Govester, WFuzz, Metasploit, Hydra, Linpiece, Winpiece. Linpiece and Winpiece basically the script for checking the previous escalation of vulnerability in the Linux and the Windows system. Okay, Linpiece for the Linux, Winpiece for the Windows. Nikto, this kind of Nikto, Dovster, and Govester, these are the tools which we have to master in that, okay. We have to remember this all the tools to understand how it's work and where we try to find out with the different list, right. At the Metasploit, you can use the Metasploit in the exam in once at once in one only on one single machines, okay. If you are failed, then you can't use it on the other machines, okay. So be careful you have to like knowledge about the metasploit. If you find any kind of any machines, like if you got the 70 marks on any all the machines after cracking the three machines, okay, but in the fourth machine you are not able to crack it, then that time in the last you can use the metasploit to crack that machine to grab the like mode numbers or mode points. Okay, Hydra, basically with the help of Hydra we can perform the brute force attack on the different kind of protocols like FTP protocols like SSH, okay, and other stuffs. Okay, and get familiar with that Windows and Linux system. Practice for the Windows privilege escalation part. Practice for the Linux privilege escalation part, where you can identify lots of vulnerability like unquoted in the Windows. If we talking about the Windows system, then we can find the unquoted service path, stored credentials, run ads, misconfigured process. Okay, so this kind of things available on the internet, so you can go through that and try to understand how you can do that. Okay, for the Linux privilege escalation we have the multiple ways also in the Linux things to escalate your privilege from the normal user to root user. See, the Linux privilege escalation part is easy than Windows privilege escalation parts. Okay, in the Linux privilege escalation part you have to check the kernel part. Okay, if kernel is compatible or not. You can also check the kernel in the Windows machines, but here is the simple thing. You can just do through the uname -a, and you can find out the kernel version and the system version. Okay, and second thing, you can check the sudo misconfiguration, sudo dash through the sudo dash l if you have the permission to run any kind of a script through the root without any kind of password, so you can go through that. Okay, so let's see. Here we have, okay, Linux privileged things. Check the kernel version, check sudo dash l permissions. Okay, check SUID misconfiguration. If you have the SUID misconfiguration, so check that you have able to run that process or executable or not. Check the stored credentials in the Linux system. If we talking about the stored credential, then we here talking about that config file, basically normally the most important things. Okay, so if you if you go through that stored credential, then you can go through that and try to check all the config file. Okay, check the group id. Sometime if you do the id command on the Linux terminal as a normal shell, then you can find the docker and lxt group in like in your user. Your user may be the member of this kind of group, docker and lxt. So you can exploit that you can exploit your privilege from normal user to root user with the help of docker groups and the lxt. Okay, check the misconfigure script. Okay, so sometime what happen, if you run that linpiece and linpiece linenum.sh and linuxprivilegechecker.py on that Linux victim machines, okay, so you can find the some of the script which is running through the root, but you have the permission to edit it, okay, or to modify it. So in that case you can extract your privilege through the misconfigured script. Tool for that we already seen here the some of the tools here. First is the linpiece.sh, second is the linenum.sh, and third is the linuxprivchecker.py. If Python is installed, then you can use the linuxprivchecker.py on the victim machine. Okay, so let's move on. For the Windows, privilege escalation process, you have to check the kernel version also. If you find the Windows 7 on running on the like backend, then you can 110 like 100% possibility, then you can accelerate your privilege. Okay, check the stored credentials in the Windows system also. Sometime if you got the stored credentials, okay, then you can basically accelerate the privilege easily. Okay, check for the unquoted service path. This is the most important things, unquoted service path and the misconfigured service. Okay, always remember these two things. Always try to figure out these two things first in the big Windows system. In the 70% case you can find these two misconfigured things in the Windows system. Okay, and the fifth thing is the path manipulation. Sometimes you are able to find that some process are misconfigured through the path, then you can just manipulate that path, just add some internal path, so you can extract your privilege through that. And the last is the always install elevated. If this kind of thing is installed, or for if you want to check this thing, just go on Google and just type this thing and you can find how you can exploit this thing. Okay, and here the some of the tool for the Windows privilege escalation process, checking the vulnerability on the victim Windows machine. So first tool is the linpiece.bat. This is the batch file. Okay, You can just transfer this bat file from your own machine to the victim machine, and you can run it. And if you have the some of the process to transfer the file, like if FTP kind of thing is open, then you can easily transfer the file. Okay. Second thing is binpiece.exe and the accesscheck.exe. Binpiece.exe is the like same format of the binpiece.bat, but this is in the exe format. Access check basically the exe, or we can say the tool. With the help of this tool, we can basically run on a particular process to identify this process have which kind of permissions to start, like restart, stop, this kind of permissions. Okay. For the file transfer in the Windows system, for the Windows system, you have to go through that PowerShell commands. There are three PowerShell commands. With the help of the PowerShell command, you can transfer the file or directory. If you want, then you can execute the files directly without transferring these things. Okay, in the memory. Okay. So here's the thing. If you have any kind of doubts, any kind of things about any kind of questions, then just go for it, and I am here. Patrick sir, I am done. Hello, Patrick sir. So this is the thing. If you got any kind of questions and any kind of things, then just tell me, okay, in the comment section, so I can go through that and try to answer your questions. Okay. Hi, Amal Raj. Tell me what's your questions about the OSCP, and if you have any kind of, then go for it. So here's the presentation. I'm done with that presentation. If you have any kind of doubt, then you can also reach out me on the LinkedIn and on the Twitter also. Okay. On the LinkedIn, you can reach out me as Avnish Kumar. If you search for the Avnish Kumar on that LinkedIn, then you can find out. Okay. And on the Twitter, same. If you search Avnish Kumar, then you can find out. So you can ask any kind of questions there also, and here you also. You have the like choice. Okay. Any questions, Amal Raj? Just tell me. Okay. See, the offensive OSCP course right now in India, it's the most demandable course. Okay. So, but see, don't go for the only for the certificate. If you want to go into this like cybersecurity field, just go through that knowledge. Just try to grab lots of knowledge in the cybersecurity field, like pen testing knowledge, like web application knowledge, how we can find the bug on the web, how we can perform the pen testing on that networking, how you can find the bugs on that Android application. Then after that, you have lots of knowledge, lots of things to cover in the cybersecurity field. Okay. After, yes, of OSCP basically give you a path or a understanding to how you can move on in the cybersecurity field. Okay. So let's wait for the Peter's Patrick, sir. So let's say.
So, do we have any questions for Mr. Avnish regarding the OSCP? How would you like to have to know more tips? So, important tips that you have found out and you would like to clear up so that Mr. Avnish can help you how to pass the exam because OSCP is one of the most important course in cybersecurity and one of the most demanded. Passing it is very, very difficult, and here we are offering viewers an opportunity to learn about OSCP exam and how to crack it in the most simplest way. So, you have any other questions, viewers?
I think no one. I think one person is here, but he didn't ask the questions. So yeah.
Okay, no issues. All right. I guess we can conclude the session right now over here. We will be back again very soon with a new OCP topic. If you have any queries about OCP viewers, you can call us at 1-800-123-5014 or you can send us an email at info@indiancybersecurity.solutions.com. Regarding this, we have a new sessions on OCP starting on the 3rd of October. So if you're really interested in having taking admission from industry professional like Mr. Avnish to clear out the exam on OCP easily and as simply, you can reach out to us and enroll for the classes on 3rd of October. Thank you very much, Mr. Avnish.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.